Hello, everyone. This is Imdad with you today, and I would love to welcome all of you to our today's live on Pursuing Your Dream During Tough Times. Today, I got a very special guest named Barbara, one of my favorite, my mentor, an amazing lady from Belgium. So, first of all, I would love to welcome Barbara and thank you very much for joining us from far away, Belgium.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here with you today, Imdad.
It's a great honor to have you with us. So, Barbara, what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna hear a little bit from our viewers. Actually, they can hear us well or not. So, dear viewers, those of you who are actually listening to us, could you please write in the comment below if you could actually listen to us? Please write yes if you can listen to us, or if we are heard properly, because you know what happens in the lives. There are a lot of connection problem and other stuffs like that. So, dear viewers, I would like to request all of you to write in the comment below if you can listen to us. Okay, we got a lot of people joining us, 12 people watching us. So I would like to request everyone out there, please let us know if you can listen to us properly. All right. Guys, please comment below yes if you can actually listen to us properly. Yes, we're live. Okay. All right. I got a comment. Yes, we are listening. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. So, Barbara, as you know, first of all, guys, I would like to tell you a little brief, actually, how I know Barbara, where we met, and how this came along. So, first of all, you know,
Yes.
okay. Sorry for the interaction. All right. So, what happened is actually, you know, I met Barbara. I happened to meet Barbara a few months back on LinkedIn. She happens to be a sensation on LinkedIn. Like she got with immense followers and amazing content that she actually puts out. Like people get much value from LinkedIn. So all other, I also happen to got interacted with her by her contents, and I got to know about her. Then we had a Zoom call to get to know each other better.
Yes.
She's actually generous enough to spend some time with me over Zoom, and I got to learn a lot over that call as well. So I will not. This is how actually I got to meet Barbara, and this is a little bit. So I happen to know a lot of things regarding Barbara, but I would like to request Barbara to tell a little bit about yourself, so that our viewers could have, you know, some idea regarding what you do, how you help people, and everything like that.
Yes.
So Barbara, please, off to you.
Okay. So I'm a personal growth coach and a business coach. I have different pillars in my business. You know, as a business coach, one of my biggest clients is BMW, where I'm doing mainly quality management. And then I have a lot of, you could say, entrepreneurs and corporate leaders that I am guiding through in moments to help them get some breakthroughs. When they are faced with great crises, or, you know, like really guide them through tough times, or when they plateau, they want to grow, they want to expand. That's what I do.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. Okay. So, Barbara, as you have been working with a lot of clients, and as you are also a personal growth coach as well for corporate leaders and entrepreneurs. So what do you think? We all see that this pandemic COVID-19 is disrupting like everything. Businesses, jobs, industries. This is like everything is disrupted. Okay. So in these tough times, it has been really very tough to actually pursue someone's dreams. But you know what? A dream is something that we have been like pursuing for, maybe it can be like for years for some people. But this COVID-19 stuff has disrupted it very badly. Now, what's your thought on what are the problems people face to actually pursue their dream during this crisis?
Well, first of all, maybe I will share the story of one of the, you could say, the biggest challenges that I faced in life, and how I could maintain a strong and positive mindset regardless. So at the age of 32, I was 32, running a construction business since 5 years, married since 5 years, and we had 3 children. The youngest one was a few weeks old. And in April of 2003, so I was 32, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 skin cancer. I was told that I had 6 more months to live. As you can imagine, that was a shock.
Absolutely.
So, most of all for my husband, who was thinking he would become a young widower, for my parents, who were still young. They were in their early 50s, so the age that I have now. And for me, it was disbelief in the beginning because I was not feeling ill. I had a black spot on my knee, which was bleeding. And I just went to hospital to get it away. And 10 days later, I got the news that it was cancer, and it was there were metastases all over my leg. So that was very bad news. And probably I would not live more than 6 months. So the first night in hospital, the night before I would have my first surgery, I had a few surgeries and I had 1 year of chemotherapy. The first night I was laying in my bed. And, you know, it was the first time I had 2 toddlers and a baby. It was the first time in 4 years that I was alone with no kids around. So for a mom, that's a very weird feeling. You're alone because you're used to having babies, toddlers, you know, like there's always someone who needs you. There's the closeness, the intimacy of the children. So I was there all alone. I was staring at the ceiling and I missed them so hard. And I started like crying a little. And then I was thinking, okay, where they are now at this moment, they are surrounded with warmth and love because they were with my parents and parents-in-law. And they are too young to realize something. It was as if they were on a vacation. They were so young, they did not realize. So I said, okay, no use to worry about the children. They are in good hands. And then I was thinking, okay, Barbara, what is it that you can do right now in this horrible situation? What is it that you can do to help yourself? And I knew there was one thing that was in my power. It was my thoughts. Was I going to allow depressed and negative thoughts to weaken me? Or was I going to focus on positive things? Focus on that I was still breathing? Focus, you know, like to only focus on the positive. And you could say, Barbara, you were blind. I decided that for my health, I would surrender to the doctors and have faith in what the doctors did. But if you think, even if you are in a horrible situation right now, what is the alternative to thinking positive? The alternative is always worse. Because starting to go into fear, starting to go into negativity never helps anyone. So even if I only would have lived 6 more months, even if then, why would I start to go depressed? I could have better spent my last 6 months in joy and gratitude.
Absolutely.
So that was the shift that I made that night. And the next morning, I called my husband and I told him, you're going to buy some books about cancer survivors. I want to read about people who survived cancer and how they stayed positive. And also I said to my parents-in-law and my husband, because the first days they were crying from morning till night, they were crying. And I told them, if you come in this hospital room, I do not want to see any tear. Cry at home, cry outside, but your pain will not help me. You crying, because, you know, in a few days, I started like consoling them and saying, it's okay, it's okay. So I had to repeat every time, I'm not dead yet. I'm still here. So people came to visit me. The news spreads very fast, like, oh, a young mom, she is diagnosed stage 4 cancer. So I had friends coming in the room, friends I didn't have seen since high school, since secondary school, and they came in, and I saw in their eyes, they were coming to say goodbye. And I refused, like they come and with pity, oh my God, you're dying. And I was, no, I do not want to hear that. Also, I refused to talk about the pain I experienced after a surgery. I was not going to repeat the pain that I experienced, because if we repeat the things that happened to us, like pain is a part of life. Suffering is a choice. Yes. Dwelling. Let's say that you came into the room and I would say, oh my God, Imdad, that hurt so much. That was so horrible. And I didn't. I just wanted to hear how life outside the hospital rooms went, how people's kids were, how everything was going, because dwelling in the negative weakens you. Dwelling in the negative will never, ever help you move on.
Awesome. What incredible thought. Like, whereas your moms or your husband or your kids should have come and consoled you, instead you were consoling them that, hey, I'm not dead yet. I'm gonna overcome this, and you guys help me fight, and don't cry in front of me, like cry at home. It's incredible, like amazing thoughts, that's for sure. And yes, like what you say, that dwelling negativity is also a choice. Dwelling on negativity is absolutely a choice.
It's
like, and when we are in, yes,
during this period, even with COVID, in April, we had lockdown in Belgium from middle March till beginning of May. So we have already 2 months out of lockdown.
Yeah.
I had less business too, 6 weeks. But what did I... No, everybody. But what did I do?
Yeah.
We stayed at home, like we were the 5 of us, we were at home. What did I do? I used that time, first of all, we had some extra family time. So I focused on the gratitude, extra family time. I could read some, I'm an avid reader. I read some more books. I studied.
Yeah, I can see a lot of books behind you. At the same time, I also saw your library, you see, that in one of your videos.
Yes. So I focused on learning, and I created a new mentorship program. So instead of panicking and saying, oh my God, like I was looking for opportunities. I was looking for the good. The most important thing that successful people have in common is that regardless of their circumstances that they are in, they have a faith that is unwavering.
Yeah.
It never goes. That's the difference between the truly successful and those who want to be. Because every successful person has known failure, has known setbacks, has known betrayal, they have been through all of it.
Absolutely.
And still, they have maybe tried 20 product launches and failed, but still they had a dream and they pursued. So always look, even if you launched something and say it doesn't work, you did a product launch and it is a learning, like it's a learning experience. You focus, what did I learn? What can I do better next time? Each time you learn and you keep improving yourself and focus, because what you radiate, if you radiate something positive, you radiate a generosity, you radiate, like a self-confidence, people are drawn to you. They want to work with you. But if you start complaining about this failure and that failure, people run away. They don't want to work with you. So your vibe will determine how your business is. And of course, we all have, like good years and we have bad years. But that's life.
Fact. This is life. This is business. Life. Like this is true for everything. Like, I can actually completely relate with you. Like what happened that I shared with you in our first conversation that I'm
Yes.
actually in the accounting business. So
Yes.
what was happening that out of this COVID-19, a lot of my clients are suffering. So since their business is off, so gradually my business there will be an indirect effect on my business as well. So what happened,
Absolutely.
like you, I also got a lot of time. So it actually helped me to give some thought that, okay, fine, how can I actually utilize the time? So what I happened, like I happened to read a lot of books, and at the same
Mhm.
time, I was trying to come up with some business ideas as well. Now,
Absolutely.
guess what? Now, guess what? What happened that lately I've decided to enter into a couple of industries as soon as this pandemic is a little bit settled over here in Bangladesh.
Mhm.
And I have shared my thoughts with some of my close connections as well. And out of that, I have received investment, I have received partners, and at the same time,
Absolutely.
we're very good to go within just a month. Okay,
That's
so
that
this is this,
that's
this is the
phenomenal.
benefit that I got actually out of staying positive and still being able to think forward.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
that's the case.
Since the beginning of COVID, my
Yeah,
mantra was something good will come out of this. Something good will
absolutely,
come out of this. And it's
absolutely.
not that I'm blind. It's not that I'm blind for the world, but what I have learned, because many people say, Barbara, you're always so positive. You don't see reality. I have learned, however dark the world may be, it
Yeah,
will not stop me from shining my light. I
absolutely,
think
absolutely.
that's something that people always go, oh, the world is dark, oh, the world is evil, is wicked. Well, be an example. Be an example of goodness. Be an example of
Fact,
creativity. Be the
fact.
example. Instead of complaining about others, leave others where they are. Surround yourself with supportive people. Surround yourself
Absolutely.
with people who believe in your dream. And there will
At the same time,
always be naysayers, always.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? The famous Oprah Winfrey says that what you see is what you get. Now,
Yes.
if we just see that there is pandemic, economy is down, business is down, you are attracting this negative stuff.
Yes,
But if you still
absolutely.
see that we got some time, let's try to figure out how can we deal with it. For the time
Yes,
being, let's just think of survival and think of
yes,
how we can thrive as soon as everything is settled and we are going up. So that's the fact.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I strongly believe the analogy, like life is the sea and we are steering our boat. Most people want their entire life a calm sea, and they are even not steering. They're just sitting there and just praying
Yeah.
like, I hope the sea will stay calm. I hope the sea. So they are already in fear for the storm to come.
Right.
I have learned life is, like calm sea, stormy sea. But the more stormy seas we have, and we are at the steering wheel, we have the direction. The more we
Right.
learn to overcome the stormy seas, the more skilled captain we are. And if we then have a little storm, we are not afraid anymore because we know we can. So
Right.
without the storms in our lives, we cannot become strong and skilled. That's
Absolutely.
what teaches us. Somebody who has been born in a rich family, who has
Yeah.
never known any trouble, any sickness, he goes 40 years old. He has troubles, he goes flat because he has never learned to deal with,
Fact.
with adversity. So, and you
Fact.
could say, well, okay, adversity. Yes, adversity is like, I think every human is like a rough diamond, and
Yeah.
adversity polishes us. It polishes us
Right.
because
Right.
in adversity teaches us humility. It
Right.
teaches
It
us
makes us humble.
generosity. Yes,
Right.
empathy, compassion, because we know we went through stuff
Right.
and we know everybody can go through stuff and it can hurt.
Absolutely.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
hurts. And having that compassion for someone who is in trouble and, like leaning a hand. And it's never about, once people start to dwell in excuses and they dwell in the negativity, it's their choice. But we can get, like in trouble and we are never given a challenge we cannot overcome. Never.
Awesome, awesome. And you know what? I can actually completely relate with you. People say, the famous people say, adversity is the best time to discover yourself.
Yes,
Because,
absolutely.
and this is where, and how actually we level up ourselves. Like what happens in
Yes.
education, let's say I actually move from school to college, college to university, or 5th grade to 6th grade, 6th grade to 10th grade. So this is how we actually go ahead and
Yes.
face the exams. And I think like in life, the life actually takes our exam through adversity. It throws
Yes.
some adversity in front of
Yes.
us. Once we learn how to overcome this, then we go to the next level. We gain new energy,
Absolutely.
we learn something
Absolutely.
new, and other stuff
And
like that.
and in training our mind, like training our mind can trick us so many times. Let's say, very simple example. You go in the street, across the street, you see someone you admire and you like, and you say hello, and the person does not say hello back. Your mind has different choices. If you have some kind of inferiority complex, your mind will say, oh, he doesn't like me. He doesn't want to say hello because he does. Maybe the person just didn't see you. So our mind magnifies, make it bigger than it is. Once we see how our mind works, we become very powerful. Once we see we do not have to believe our thoughts all of the time, we become powerful because we can change it. We can just let it go. Oh, he didn't say hello. It's okay. We move on. And not make a drama about it. Because many people all day, they make drama of those little things.
Yeah.
And I think being, having been diagnosed with cancer, for me, all those little things, I'm like, oh my God, that's nothing. Somebody not saying hello, or somebody saying a bad comment to some, just let it go. Don't let it run your life. Don't let that master your life. Leave room for creativity and for positivity instead of making drama of little things.
I completely agree with you, Barbara. And so far, we have got a couple of questions from our viewers. So do you mind actually if I take the question?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So this is Mr. Tanim Hussain actually asked us, I have a question that I have an agro-business, but in this pandemic situation, maybe I faced loss. So what would I do to quit business or continue or change the business plan? Although this is kind of very business question, but we are talking about kind of mindset.
Always.
So,
I think as a human being, adapting to change is what keeps us surviving. So look at your business. How much chance has it to survive? How can you make changes? Has the market changed? Just be an astute observer. Like, what is going on? What are people? Can I adapt my business model to find new ways to attract clients? Can I go more online? It's just being very creative and adaptable. The more we are adaptable, I think this is an era that all of us, we have to adapt. I'm 50 years old. I'm learning every day about new software, about new things, just to stay on top of things.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, I think Charles Darwin said that the fittest, the survival of the fittest, it's the human who can adapt most easily, who will survive and who will thrive.
Absolutely. And Barbara, I would like to also add up something with you. Like, so far, I am concerned regarding the agribusiness of our country. That is, in this pandemic, everybody is actually facing losses, facing problems.
Absolutely.
But
everybody.
There is a huge upsurge I can see as soon as this pandemic is over, because our agro industry is still undervalued, and there is still a lot to actually go ahead and contribute. And I'm pretty sure, like Mr. Tanim, he's a wonderful young man, and I believe that you can actually go ahead and look around how this COVID-19 is actually shaping your industry and how you can actually cope up with this and at the same time thrive as soon as this pandemic is over.
Absolutely.
At the same time, I would like to add up something that is in our country, although it's a huge agro farm, or you can say like there are a lot of agro businesses, but you know what? Agrotech. So for the agrotech is concerned, or the technology is concerned, we have still a lot of places, a lot of room for development. So I would like to request you, please go ahead and look into the arena that you can actually go ahead and streamline your process through agrotechnology, and so that once the pandemic is over, you can actually go ahead and thrive with everybody out there. Okay, thank you very much for Tanim Bhai for asking this question. At the same time, guys, I would like to also ask you, I would like to request you that if there is any question going on in your mind regarding tough times, how can actually go ahead and stay on track during this tough time. So please go ahead and comment below. Barbara is here to answer our questions. Okay, Barbara, and there are a lot of comments are coming. Stanjil actually, he commented, and optimistic person always see opportunity in crisis. That's what you two are. So it's a compliment. Thank you very much, Tanjil. Listening and enjoying with a love react. Thank you very much.
And, maybe I want to add something in
sure,
that. Maybe I want to add a very important topic. Something that being diagnosed with the cancer taught me. It is to always think at night, before you are sleeping, thinking about your legacy. What good did I do today? How was I a beneficial presence for others? Always think that the things you faced that day, if you're 80 or 90 years old and you look back at your life, would that be the thing that was important? You are building your legacy day by day. Don't forget that. Most people, you know, like they live for the future. I will be happy then. I will be happy if my business makes that amount of money. I will be happy if I have that car, if I have that house. Life is now, every day. So every day before going to sleep, ask yourself, was I a beneficial presence today? Wherever I went.
This is gold. This is gold. I have to say, absolute amazing thinking for sure. And, you know, I can actually relate to it, because what happened early days in my business, I was thinking, okay, if I get just one client in this month, I'm going to be happy. Now that one turned to 10 to 50. Okay, so this is just, you know, increasing, but you never satisfy. So that's why, like, literally. And that's why
I think that's the mind tricking us in more. Right. And if you're in the more game, you are like in a treadmill, and you are running in life and more. And then one day it's all over. And was it worth it? No, because you didn't have an eye for other things. Maybe you weren't for your mom or for your parents or for your kids or for your neighbor or for yourself. Maybe you didn't do any self-care. It's just having that thought at the end of the day, I think, is very, very helpful.
Absolutely. Okay, Barbara, I'm sorry to say, but maybe there were some connection problem.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
I see still the live running, the minutes.
But okay, but we are having some problems with stream here today.
That's okay. We talked for almost 30 minutes.
Okay, no, it's going on.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yes, we are. Okay, dear viewers, I'm really very sorry for the connection problem we had. All right, so let's go ahead and continue our discussion. Okay, so feeling great for being a part of this. Ahmed Shaun actually commented. Thank you, Ahmed Shaun, for joining us. And Imran Uddin Imon, great to see you, Bhaiya, really inspirational. And of course, I'm with an inspirational personality, so that's for sure. Thank you very much. Awesome discussion. Thank you, Rabbi Bhai. Tanim Hussain, whose actually question we take, he actually commented. Thank you, Imdadul Islam and Barbara. So he actually thanked us. Thank you, Tanim Bhai, for your question. Dear viewers, feel free to let us know whatever questions you have got so far. No problem with that. We are here to actually go ahead and answer your question. And at the same time, I would like to request everyone out there, if you really think that this conversation or this live is going to help a lot of the people, feel free to go ahead and click the share button and invite more people to actually join this live. Okay, so Barbara, I actually got an earlier question. That is, sorry, I actually skipped. That is, he was saying one of my junior asked a question that is how to live your dreams during tough times. Although I know you shared a lot about this, but could you please give us a little ideas like how to live the dreams during tough times?
I think
our topic is
yes. So pursuing your dream. I only started pursuing my dream after I was surviving the cancer, because before I was running a construction business, and that was the same kind of business that my parents were running.
Okay.
So that was based, you could say, on an unconscious choice. I did what was expected from me. And I lived until then a life that was expected from me. Only being faced to death made me realize I had a seed in my heart. That seed was that dream that I hadn't paid enough attention to. And I think every one of us is born with a seed in his heart. Let's say you studied accountancy, but in reality, you love to cook. You're an amazing cook, but you studied accountancy because your parents wanted you to become an accountant. So maybe you have a dream to have a beautiful restaurant. We are born with a seed in our hearts. Never neglect that seed, because it comes at the same. If you are 80 or 90 years old and you look back at your life, do not live your life for someone else. Live your life following your joy and your passion. And yes, you cannot suddenly, it took me 15 years, to change businesses. It's not like after the cancer, I closed my business and I started a coaching business. No, I'm living a real life. You know, I had investments to pay, and it's a slow process. So if now you are an accountant, you want to open your restaurant, take it easy. Build your dream step by step. But it's possible. 15 years ago, I was still running a construction business, and I had a dream of empowering millions. I did not know how to do that. There were no social media at that time. Last month, I reached 4.3 million people on my Facebook page.
Awesome.
I'm a Belgian woman. I was completely unknown. I have no special powers, but I took action every day. Every single day. And I visualized and I wrote down. I have my inspiration, like my affirmations every day. I have my routines that I do every day. So it's persistence. It's self-discipline. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like people think it's like that. It's like that all of the time. It's it's
absolutely,
like that.
Like the stock market. Absolutely.
Yes,
I can relate it with our stock market.
Yes. So,
for sure.
But if you have the faith that is it that you were born for, keep moving forward. Step by step.
And very little, of course. Very little.
Yes, small steps.
What happens, like in my early days, truth be told, I didn't understand these factors. What happened? So I was feeling like, okay, I just started this business because, the accountancy business I had was my first one. Although along the way, I am going to start a couple of within the next month. So what is happening that I used to think, okay, fine. So I got started and I'm going to go ahead and make like a lot of things, do a lot of things within very soon. But gradually I got to understand, no, things doesn't actually happen in that way. Everything takes time. And I have to be real persistent, and what you mentioned, like self-disciplined, to actually go ahead and little by little, I have to build a structure.
Yes.
So that's the thing. Yes, of course.
Great things take time.
Absolutely, for sure. Okay, so Barbara, now please tell us a little bit about what are the skill set or what are the mindset you think that people will be needing to actually survive during this pandemic and actually go ahead with their dreams successfully as soon as this pandemic is over. So we talked a lot about the mindset, of course, the positive mindset, and what are the other things you think that we need to actually the skill set and the mindset?
Okay. I think a very important one is to not blame your circumstances for where you are now, for having to live from inside you and not most people live in the circle. They have difficult circumstances. Those difficult circumstances make them think negative. Those negative thoughts make them feel negative. Those negative feelings make them procrastinate, not taking actions, which will not improve their circumstances. In fact, it starts with your thoughts. It doesn't start with your circumstances. It starts with your thoughts. So in having empowering thoughts, it starts from there. Your thoughts give your positive feelings, make you take action and improve your circumstances. So it's always to go beyond your circumstances. I think that's really the basics. As long as you say, oh, I don't have the right education. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have the right connections. That's giving your power away. Your power is within you. It's not in your connections. It's not in your degree. We know, all you and I, of billionaires who did not have a degree, who did not have a network, who did not have rich parents. They didn't have anything, but they were persistent. And consistency, like daily.
Yeah. Absolutely, Barbara. Thank you very much. It literally makes sense to me. And I personally can actually relate to this. And I hope that our dear viewers are also relating to what Barbara is sharing with us. So with coming at this point, I'm going to ask the next question to Barbara. But before that, dear viewers, I would like to request, or I'd like to ask you that if you have got any question related to your personal growth, related to your business, feel free to let us know in the comment below. We have the Honorable Lady Barbara with us. So no problem with that. She is going to answer whatever questions you have got. Yes, sure. Okay. So coming at this point, I would like to give this talk a little different direction. That is, we were talking about pursuing our dream during tough times and life, business, and other stuff like that. But how about we actually go ahead a little back, that why do actually people give up? What do you think? What are the causes in your thought? That, okay, fine, this is why people give up. So what's your thought on this?
I think one of the major traps to give up is expectations.
All right.
Expectations. We think we will be successful within 12 months. We marry someone, and we think he is the prince and he's the ideal husband. And we put him on a pedestal, and the expectations kill the marriage. The expectations kill the dreams. The expectations make you give up. But expectations are fantasies in your head, and it's just leave them behind. Leave them behind. Always focus on, what am I learning now? What am I learning now? It's a learning experience. It's a journey. It's people want to reach, climbing in a mountain, and they want to reach the top in 2 days, and it's a year-long, journey. It's those expectations. It's being misinformed. It's just being misinformed. It's just making assumptions that it's easy, that it's quick, that it's, if it would be easy and quick, we would all be entrepreneurs.
Right.
It's for the tough ones.
Everybody would be doing
Entrepreneurship is for the tough ones. You really have to have thick skin. You have to be very creative. You have to
you have to learn how to actually handle the rejections.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody gets rejected in the early days.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And it's just, when you have a mountain, we just choose another path. and it's the explorative path. And giving up is just being blinded by expectations.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I can actually relate to you. And if I want to add something with you, that is what you're saying is expectation. At the same time, and there is another thing as well that people actually go ahead and see that they don't, and as soon as they don't get it, so what happens? They give up. That is
Yes.
actually uncertainty. You know what? Like,
Yes.
let's say I got started with one business. I was thinking, okay, fine, maybe in the next 5 years, I'm gonna be a billionaire. Okay, so let's say I came up with the super high tech technology, and I'm dreaming that I'm gonna be a billionaire. But what happens that as soon as I got a fund, I'm backed by an angel investor, and within 1 year, but after the next year, what is happening? I'm seeing that, okay, fine, maybe I might not go ahead and be the billionaire, or this might suck. I might actually fail badly. So these are the things. And once I start assuming the uncertainty, or once the uncertainty actually comes into my mind, then I give up. But then people actually go ahead and give up. So what's your thought on this? Like,
I think also many people start a business for the wrong reason. If you start a business only for the money, you will never, it has to be a fire within you, that passion. You have to be passionate about the purpose. If you are doing it for money, if you are doing it to get a certain status, then you are not confident, because you need that status to be someone. Be someone first. Be someone first before you start or while you are having the business, because it's personal growth is all about that being. It's in the being. It's not in wanting to achieve a status or like accumulating material possessions to be someone. You are someone. You were born someone. You were always someone, with or without the material possessions. Some of the most amazing people are homeless. Are they less worthy? They are not.
No.
They are not.
That's for sure.
So don't use your entrepreneurial journey for, like, to get self-confidence. It will rip you, like it. You have to start for the right reasons. If you need money to be someone, and of course we all like to, like to make money, we like beautiful things, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's about serving people. You serve people in your business. I serve people. And it's about the serving people, going the extra mile for your customer, being creative. And that's, and if you don't have that within you, it's doomed.
It doesn't happen. That's
it doesn't
for sure.
Happen.
Like, and that's why I actually always advise my young fellows that don't actually come to entrepreneurship just for money. Don't think of it as a get a rich quick game. Okay, entrepreneurship is not a get rich quick game. Okay, but many people actually misjudge this and come to this entrepreneurship. But you know what?
I know.
And so then they ask me, okay, fine. So what? How do I actually overcome this, or how do I figure out that is this the right business for me, or is this the right thing to do for me?
Well, I think yes. Yeah. I think if you are passionate about something, you want to learn all about it. You're curious and you want to learn, and you are almost obsessed with it. I have.
And you never get tired.
No, you never get tired. No, no.
Absolutely.
I have read hundreds, I think maybe almost thousands of books on self-development, psychology, spirituality. I never get, never get tired of it. I observe people. I talk to people, and I'm always passionate about human behavior and what it is within that human behavior that makes some people fulfilled, happy, and successful, and others not. And then, in observation, I can see the blocks within themselves. I can see how they are conditioned by their environment, by their own mind. And I think as long as you stay passionate about the topic, that's your business.
Absolutely. At the same time, like, I think people, whatever they are doing, before actually go ahead and straightly doing it, they should be in love with the process, not with the
Yes.
end result, but with the
No, in love
process.
with the process.
Because you know
Yes.
what, if I actually go ahead and let's say, okay, fine, I'm doing this startup, and after 5 years, I'm going to be a billionaire. So I'm just doing it. So what happens is I'm in love with the end result, not with the
Yes.
process. But
The
if I
process.
think that,
Absolutely.
okay, fine, this is the one, this is something that I want to actually go ahead and do it. So then
Yes.
what will happen that I would love it. And even if I fail at the end of 5 years, I will say, at least I tried. It doesn't
Yes,
matter.
and I
But I
learned
had fun.
something.
I had fun doing
Yes,
it.
you had
Absolutely.
fun
Absolutely.
doing it. You learned something. I think it's really about that passion, that obsession. Many people, like I get hundreds of messages every day, and people telling me, "Tell me what to do. What do I need to do to make money?" And I'm always answering them like, "Wrong question. Wrong question. It's not about the money. It's what do you want to do?" And it's
Right.
like there's nothing wrong with having a job and starting a business at the side and growing your business and
Side
still
hustle.
have an income. There's nothing wrong with that. Like to have that
Absolutely.
peace of mind, just continue, but building your side business. And okay, that's hard because you come home from, like from work, and in the evening you have to, but that, I think that gives you most, because if you don't have food for the next day, your creativity is going down also.
For sure, for sure. At the same time, I can actually relate to it, like what you were saying, that a lot of people ask me as well, how can I actually start a business, or what do I do during these tough times or during this COVID-19? I tell them that, okay, fine, actually, you want to make money, no problem with that. But if you go ahead and ask this first, how can you make money? That's the problem, because money comes second. Ask
Yes.
yourself, how can you serve your society? How can you serve your customer? Or what
Absolutely.
are the values you have got to yourself that helps people improve their life or save their time or make them more money?
Absolutely.
Okay, if
Absolutely.
you can actually figure this out, this will definitely help you make more money. No problem
Yes.
with that. Okay, thank you very much, Barbara. I also got
Okay.
a couple of questions, so allow me to actually take one question. Here, Ahmed Shaun is saying, at this pandemic situation, what would you like to prefer? Like in this situation, we don't go out to earn something, and we cannot wait enough for government help as well. So what should a beginner business person do? So what's your thought on this, Barbara? What do you
So
think?
can
Like,
you repeat? Can you just put it in short? What's the point of the question?
okay, so actually what he's saying is at this pandemic situation, now he's
Yes.
actually saying that we actually can't go out actually to
No.
make money. At the same time, we can't actually wait for government to help us. Okay, because it's a developing country, government have got a lot of responsibilities on its own, so it can actually go ahead and help almost everybody out there. So what he should do as a beginner business person, or just to start, what do you think? Like,
Okay, so
or
he's
what he
saying
can do?
physically I cannot go out, so it's difficult to do business. That's
Yeah,
what he's saying.
yeah.
Well, I think we're in a world where everybody goes online. Look what you can do online. I think that has been the answer now. Everybody staying inside is everybody's online. So there are massive opportunities there. Never wait for someone. Never wait for someone to help you. Never wait for just, like look. If you're a beginner, just look. First is always your passion. What are you passionate about? What do you want to do? Is there an opportunity to do it online? To follow your passion online? That is what I think we are in an era, and we never had that before. We can reach just with our phone everybody else, 7 billion people,
Absolutely.
almost 7 billion people. So we never had so many opportunities before. And I think there's always, if you open your eyes, if you are just, like, you just have to be a little obsessed about doing business and what's possible. But really in that positive mindset, it's first of all, like leaving all, if you look, we have had a financial crisis so many times. We have had it 100 years ago. We have had it 50 years ago. It's of all times. It's
Even
of all
10 years
times.
back as well. Like you
Yes,
see
yes,
the 2009
2008.
financial
Yes,
crisis.
yes. We
Yeah,
we
8
we
and
had
9.
it. We had it. So and be patient. Be patient. Not despair. I think despair is the
Right.
worst thing you can do.
For sure. Like anything that is done in haste, that actually sucks. It doesn't actually work. It doesn't
No,
work. So,
no.
yes, of course, Mr. Shaun, I hope that you got your answer from Barbara, and she actually put it in a great way. But at the same time, like being in Bangladesh, if you want to start in a business right now, of course, this is tough. Of course, this is tough, but it's
Yes,
not something impossible. But try to figure out your niche, your
yes,
industry, and
yes.
what are the
Absolutely.
values you can actually go ahead and create into the people of that industry. And I would say, Barbara, this is actually my personal thought. I don't know how you will take it or how Shaun or other people will take it. Like, this is the best time to actually go ahead and start something. Because you know
Yes.
what? Everything is disrupted, and whatever you come up with, if this is something
It's
you are in
new.
the beginning, everybody's in the beginning stage. It doesn't matter you are
Yes.
$500
Absolutely.
million company, or
Absolutely.
you are just one person with your
Yes.
computer. Okay, the
Absolutely.
opportunity is similar to everyone. And now
Hmm.
this social media stuff, this StreamYard, this Facebook stuff, the LinkedIn stuff has made everything is so easy. Barbara has
Yes.
already mentioned that you can reach out to any person within the 7.5 billion people, any person in the world, any corner of the world, very easily. Like the
Absolutely.
way I am reaching out to Barbara as well.
Hmm.
Like she's in
Hmm.
Belgium, I'm in Bangladesh, but we are doing an amazing Facebook Live. And
Yes.
this
Yes.
is thanks to the technology and thanks that our actually mindset
Hmm.
aligns. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Shaun, that you actually got your answer, and no problem, you have got some other answer. Feel free to let us know. So, Barbara, coming at this point of our today's live, I would like to ask you um, another question. That is actually now, what do you think that how can actually people prepare themselves like for uh, after the pandemic situation? Like, what's your thought on this? Like, from to business or to anyone, like to business people, entrepreneurs, corporate leaders, or students as well. And one thing I would like to request you to talk a little bit about our students, because you know what, for our country, the school, colleges, and universities are closed down. Although our country is opening, the Bangladesh is opening virtually, but although the institutions are actually going ahead and trying to operate their classes online. Okay, but
Yes.
still, because the e-learning process in our country was not that the infrastructure of that process was not that structured, and that's why people are kind of facing a little bit problem. So, what's your message for the students, for the young people like us, for Bangladesh?
So for young people, students, it's an opportunity too. I think it's an insight that, because I have two daughters at college too, and they had since March, they have online learning, and I know it's a learning curve. There were good professors who did good classes. Some professors did nothing. I think during this time, it's use your time in a valuable way. You have been given extra time. Don't be on TikTok the entire day. Don't be scrolling,
Yeah,
just think, if you only, what's the advantage that Imdad and I have to some other entrepreneurs? We never stop learning.
right,
We never stop learning.
absolutely.
And that's an advantage you have. So if you want to be prepared for after COVID, you learn, you start something. Even start a Facebook page or start a LinkedIn page, or on LinkedIn, start posting content, because everybody
Yeah.
is on social media, but be a creator instead of a consumer. If you create, if you bring value, that's the start of your business. It's the start of your brand. If you just consume, you will die consuming. And I know we have been brainwashed into consuming. We have been brainwashed that consuming material goods is the ultimate Valhalla. And you and know now, we know that's not like that. The fulfillment, it's in the creation that we get. We are creative beings. Human beings are born to create. We are not born to consume. And of course, I like to shop now and then and buy some new clothes, but it's not running my life. It's only a little part of my life. I prefer to write. I have such a pile, notebooks full written with ideas, with things I want to create, like I paint, I draw, I read. Be creative. And in that creativity, you get a connection with yourself that you never thought was possible. Don't spend your time consuming entertainment, consuming material goods. It will impoverish your mind.
For sure. And Barbara, there is a common problem, like common, I have to say, common. It happens sometimes. I actually want to express something. I don't come up with words. Okay, common complaint.
I know.
There's a common complaint for the young people who actually want to start, who are going to go ahead and start with the job market. You see, they say that the hiring managers are looking for, experienced guys, but we are freshers. So how can I actually come up with experience? Like in the university, we are not given. We are not doing any job.
I think that's that's also from every time. It was like that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It always has been like that. Be willing to start, just to start. Maybe it's not your dream job, but start and learn and move on. Complaining about not being hired will not get you anywhere. Just try more. Try more. Go for other jobs. Go for more jobs. Write 100, 100 emails. Write 1,000 emails, and not complain after writing 10 emails.
Fact, absolutely.
I'm a tough mom, I think.
No. That's for sure. Like you are on point. I have to say. And I think that people like them actually can go ahead and utilize the time in a great way, because you see that you were undergrad, you were still doing your university, or you were still a student, but now your university is giving you time, and you've got a great break from your study and your usual life.
Yes.
So if you really think that you have something to actually go ahead and value, so try to figure out the companies that actually need your expertise during these times, but they can hire those people with a great salary. Now go ahead, help them just for free.
Yes,
literally for free.
Absolutely.
And guess what happens? You help them for free. This is how they get to know about your caliber. They get to know about your quality. They get to know about your potentials.
Absolutely.
At the same time, once everything is up and going, they start hiring back. Now, guess what? Who will they come first? Of course, it's you. They will look after you to actually go ahead and join their company. This is how you can actually manage a job during this pandemic as well. So, thank you very much, Barbara. We are almost at the end of this live session. It's we are approaching 1 hour. I'll not take much of your time, but last one question that is asked by my friend, one of my very favorite friend, Bijoy. So he said, transforming an idea into business is a lot of hustle. Of course, we all know. And one single person can do so much. Only can do so much. That's for sure. So my question is, what about human resources? And how to find the right supportive, trustable person. So I think it's a very legit question. I hope that you can relate, right?
Absolutely. What I have, I have different pillars in my business. I'm a mom of 3 children. I have a schedule from morning till night. What I have learned is once there's a certain, in my business, there is a certain job that is a kind of routine. I outsource. So my social media, 90%, I have a social media manager, Monica. She's fantastic. She is doing 90% of my social media. She creates the post. I did it, like 5 years ago, I did everything myself. But then you have to think, you have to value your time. Like, this is routine, scheduling posters every hour on my Facebook page, creating. Someone else can do that. So I was looking for someone who could, if you can outsource something, let's say it in dollars, you can outsource something. Monica is working 20 hours a week for me, I think, or maybe more. And she's very well paid. But I have to work 3 hours a month to pay her 20 hours a week. You understand the value that the value that I bring, and the value. It's just be smart in that. It's not about underpaying people, not at all. I know Monica is very, like, I'm generous, but think about outsourcing. Like, how your revenue, just make your time is valuable too, because what I create, what I bring to companies, and like, brings in a certain amount of money. But me sitting from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. at my computer doing my social media is not bringing me, like, as much. It's just, I hope it makes sense. It's once you see,
absolutely,
like, start to outsource.
Definitely,
It's like me outsourcing. I have a lady. She's coming for 16 years already here, who is cleaning the house. If I have to spend every day 2 or 3 hours to clean my house, it's 2 or 3 hours that I could not put value into my business. So it's a lot smarter for me to pay someone to clean the house, because in that time I make a lot more money than cleaning the house or paying someone. So that's the exercise you have to do in your head. And I pay her well, and she's super happy to be here. So it's always that exercise that once the value you bring and the money you bring in, and you start to outsource, because you only have an amount of time in your day.
For sure. I hope that, Bija, what Barbara says makes sense to you, of course. Like, you alone, like we alone we can do so much, but not everything. That's for sure.
No.
So we definitely need help from people outside ourselves, or people whom we can actually hire on hourly basis, monthly basis, or whatever. You can actually go ahead.
Absolutely.
And of course, you mentioned one thing, that is actually right trustable person. And for those, I would like to actually ask you that how to go ahead and try to figure out who actually believes in your vision, because the ones who believes in your vision will never betray with you. Okay, they will always be with you, and they are going to help you whatever you actually go through actually crisis and through summer as well. Okay, so no problem with that. Great hope and belief. Okay. So Bijay, actually, thanks.
And be aware, you will lose friends. You will lose friends. I lost friends. And you will lose friends.
Right.
Because
people, at the same time,
you will get new ones, of course. But sometimes in the beginning, it can hurt people for a long time, and you have big dreams, and they're like, whoa. And their fear, like, they project their fear on you, and they start to be negative on you because they are fearful and they are not living their dreams. And especially, I can say, with women, a lot of women use the household as an excuse. They say, oh, it's the kids. I cannot start my business. I cannot develop myself. No, that's no excuse. And of course, there was a time, my kids are older now, there was a time where I spent a lot of more time with my kids. And then they grow up, they go to high school, you get more time. And it's important for everyone, whether you're a mom or a dad, to develop yourself. You owe it to yourself to not go in the kind of excuses like, I cannot do it, I have to take care of my mother, or I have to take care of my kids. That's beautiful to do that. If it's your purpose, do it. But do not use it as an excuse to not develop yourself.
Fact, Barbara, fact. I completely actually relate with you. Thank you very much for sharing this wonderful insight. And And Bijoy actually thanked us very much. And one last question. Okay, so I'm not going to take much of your time. Just one
Okay.
last question. He mentioned that, but how will I judge if the person is right for the role for someone who has no prior experience in hiring people? That's also a very legit question. Now, what's
Yes.
your thought on this?
Kind of intuition. We have an intuition when we talk someone. You and I had immediately, like we felt like aligned.
Yes.
If you have that click, go for it. If you don't have the click, if you feel a doubt within yourself, don't go for it. It's as simple as
You
that.
prefer intuition. You prefer intuition. Of course. Like, Bijoy, I hope that it makes sense to you, because you know what? If this is something that you are going to do for the first time, and I don't think that any science or law from Einstein is going to help you. Okay.
No.
So this is something your intuition from your own inside, can be your heart, your brain, or whatever. Like, the intuition is going to help you. So just try to actually go ahead and play the intuition in hiring process in the first time. And along the way, you will get used to with it. And I believe that, yes, of course, you're going to be great at this, because Bijoy is my very close friend, Barbara. Point to mention that I know him. He's a wonderful. Yes.
Like start on a freelance base, start on, like you don't have to give someone a contract. You just, you go and I did it with my social media manager too. I gave her some little jobs and I saw how she performed, and she outperformed. She did so well. Like you go by little steps. Don't promise the heaven and earth on the first call you have. Just look, like in the first month, what are they providing? What value are they giving?
Right.
Are they doing what they promised to do? First, you have the feeling, the intuition. Is that someone you believe in? Okay, go ahead. But then do it by little steps. And those little steps will teach you, and you give more and more confidence, and then it grows, and the connection grows, and then you go ahead, and he will be fine.
Absolutely. And you know what? In Bangladesh, it doesn't actually go that much like the hourly basis or the project basis. But thanks to this pandemic, a lot of people are looking job hourly basis. A lot of people are looking for job on a project basis. So I believe that, Bijoy, you can actually go ahead and what Barbara suggested, that hire someone for a project basis, maybe for 1 week or 15 days. Hire somebody on an hourly basis, maybe just 10 hours a week or 15 hours a week. At the same time, gradually, if you feel that he or she is the right person for you, go full time with that person. And I hope that this is gonna help. This helps you. And with that great hope and belief, Barbara, I'm really very sorry I took more than 1 hour, but I have to say that it was really, really wonderful to talk to you. I feel like I'm talking to you like, a lot more time, but I know you are a very busy person. At the same time, our time is almost over. So with that great hope and belief, we are signing off for today. Dear viewers, thank you all very much for watching us so far, and thank you for asking the wonderful questions. I hope that discussion actually helps you. And by coming to this point of life, Barbara, I would love to thank you once again for your wonderful time and the great insight you shared with us. And thank you very much for joining. It was really a great to have you with us here today, and although virtually over here in Bangladesh. But I would love to give you an open invitation to Bangladesh with your family once the pandemic is over, and I would love to be your host. Please be our guest in person as well, not only in live. Wonderful, of course. And thank you very much for joining us. And with that great hope and belief, I'm signing off for today. And I hope to catch you live, maybe sometime later in the future. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care, Barbara. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye.